Hello there. Welcome to the Sunday morning AgostoAllElite Podcast. As usual, this is Richie. Anyway, let's get to a Dynamite recap. So the episode of Dynamite was stuff with information activity, to stuff, over stuff, mega stuff. You know, like a stuff fatter than a triple stuffed Oreo cookie. So it came at a detriment to the product on screen. The entertainment factor is high, but it was hard to focus on individual aspects. So much swirling in my head. There was a bill for 3 tournaments: Rampage, Collision, Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which had only 4 official matches, 5 days until the event. So honestly, where to start? Let's get to the show. Let's start. Before we start, let's start with something. I'm gonna start with before we start, let's talk about match cards. Trios action: Andrade, Martin, Fox versus Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Suzuki, Cassidy, Shibata versus Garcia, Sabre Jr., Kushida stands brawl, Mark Briscoe versus Jeff Jarrett, the Hardys versus the Guns, the TBS champion Chris Stanley versus Talia Valkyrie, the Bryan Danielson and Cole Eddie Kingston promos. So let's start with the Hardys versus the Guns. So starting the show, the Hardys and the Guns not necessarily going to inspire a ton of excitement, particularly 2023, but it was actually a setup for a post-match brawl of the great magnitude. Moments after Switchblade, Jay White, Juice Robinson assisted Colton and Guelph the Gun and defeat Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy, they beat legendary Tanner down until Ricky Starks. They have to save. FTR follow. Finally, CM Punk hit the ring, clear the heels to the floor. So the crowd in Chicago was red hot for everything that came after the bell. Punk brought energy to the segment unmatched anyone else on the screen. To quote Jay Ross, business picks up when the guys on TV in the 8-man tag match results Saturday night in Collision. Punk FTR Starks versus White Robinson. The Guns will help elevate the same event against a second episode of the show. So yeah, the Guns defeated the Hardys. So Robinson and White merged from out of nowhere, shoved Hardy up ropes. That's one moment. But you know, one quote for Punk says, "I'm a Collision guy, not to be here." As Punk said. After that, So Stars, FTR, and Punk cleared the ring before Best of the World issued a challenge for 8-man tag on Saturday's Collision. So yeah, Saturday's Collision. Saturday's Collision. So that the Collision we review later on, like after the Rampage spoilers. Alright, we got the concession stands brawl. Mark Briscoe versus Jack Jarrett. Laura Bundolny versus the Blonde Bombers. This was not. Briscoe about Jarrett in a match inspired by Despilo concession stand brawl from 1979, but more close resembled the overbooked WCW Hardcore Division match from 2000. It was turned in first from a half of the heels, followed by Babyface save before culminating a schoolboy roller that felt blissfully simple and curvous, and a mess that preceded. A few that at once had charm, has a few other storylines. Of course, the AEW drawn on too long. So we got Mark, Papa Briscoe, Albie Edwards beating Jarrett, Lethal, and Karen John Friday's Rampage. Should have ended this program, but it switched wrong a bit too long. The result was not interview as fun. The effort for Briscoe Jarrett will always be enough to warrant a C grade. To warrant a fall for me. So yeah. So Briscoe versus Jarrett. Briscoe defeated Jarrett. I didn't like the Karen interference. That's one thing I didn't like. I don't know, thank God Mark Briscoe got the win, so, yeah, basically, yeah. So, backstage, Bob Moxley challenged the Elite to a 4-on-4 match on Brandor. Danielson cut a promo on Kuchikoda ahead of their dream match on Sunday. So, yeah. We need a 5-on-5. We got some trios action trios action. This is the first match Wednesday show for like an AEW contest. Jericho, Mizuki, and defeated Andrade, Martin, and AR Fox in a fun, energetic tag party bout that featured high spots, dramatic near falls, and a win for a high-profile trio. Babyface were allowed to show up a bit for coming to the veteran prowess of Jericho, Suzuki, and Articulate. The match gave way to the latest between Jericho and Sting, who had their first face-to-face a week ago. As Forbidden Door, they will be on opposite sides of the trios match. Suzuki and God's battle the Icon, and the partner will be named on Collision. So yeah, based on what we saw Wednesday night, that should be a lot of fun. Suzuki, Jericho, Guevara, Fox, Martin, and Andrade. Okay. I'm sorry, this is all going crazy. So the casting of Kaze Naruto will never get old. We got Suzuki and Jericho mocking their pose with Guevara. It looked unimpressed. So yeah, it was a submission victory for the heels. So the Suzuki guys will challenge you during Allen. So the team with you. So find a partner. So the partner will be announced like this Saturday and like Collision. It will reveal as usual. Anyway, it was said during the post match promo with Renee Paquette. So yeah. Alright. Anna Cole. Following the Anna Cole promo that predictably interrupt AEW World Champion NJPW, the two known things. The rivals will team up in eliminated tournament to determine number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Upper Clay Devil will battle the legendary Tanahashi at Forbidden Door Sunday night, and that was MJF. Siobhan made the first announcement for Cole, especially Golden and Carl MJF accepting Ace's challenge for this weekend's pay-per-view. The wacky tag team partners who each has a tired gimmick made by the way Vince Russo and WWE relies on during the heights of popularity. Offering eliminated turns not inspiring a bit of creative. Still, Cole and MJF have solid no chemistry and stereo shut Siobhan to show their mutual disdain for the commentary was a great touch. Cole and MJF appear to be endgame pursuing for All In at Wembley Stadium in London. To get there, AEW needs to buy some time. Lisa efforts to do so without relying on the booking until August 27th. MJF's sell job realized he would have to work every week with pure gold. So yeah, we got a pre-tape promo for the Elite. Revealed that Eddie Kingston will be one of the men team page. Young Bucks battle, Blackpool Comic Plus, Moxley, Claudio Sinoli, Yuta, Kishida, Saucy, and part of their choosing, the 5-on-5 match. And well, yeah, basically like that. Yeah, so yeah, and MJF berated Siobhan's announcement. So you know, it's what it is. Orange Cassidy, Shibata versus Garcia versus Zack Jr. So, Garcia, Pro Wrestling TV Star Jr., AEW International Champion, Cassidy, a Ring of Honor Champion, Pure Champion, Shibata, a severe loss on Wednesday night. In the process, set up another high-stakes match for the Forbidden Door every Sunday night. As one competitor is started. Cassidy's title revealed a commentator. Squeeze will defend against other three. There was a back row that had been given a ratchet even prior to Wednesday's match, was made as a logical addition to the Forbidden Door card. The match is close to the overall quality we saw for combatants on Wednesday night. Fans can be there for a treat coming Sunday. So yeah. Yeah, Garcia and Grace Garcia defeated Cassidy and Shibata. So yeah, basically. Yeah, Alright, so basically there were moments where Garcia unloaded toe test to the injured arm of Shibata. That was it. Cassidy actually rushed Shibata with a punch, fell prey to the cheap roll by Garcia. Hills scored a victory. It's what it is. Now we go to the championship match, TBS championship match. Statlander versus Taya Valkyrie. Taya has been wasting minutes in that because Statlander returns to Double Nothing. Cups their efforts against Cargill, winning the TBS champion, eluded her. Wednesday, she challenged a new title holder and defeated her in a hard-hitting Uber cutter title challenge. The match already won a TBS champion bout in AEW history. Saw a motivated Valkyrie match. Sandler testing aggressive for falling victim to her devastating tombstone pile driver. Alright, Sandler scored a quality win. Valkyrie reminded fans how strong a competitor she could be if women's division continued to build momentum. So yeah. Sandler defeated Valkyrie. There was moments when Sandler did a moonsault for the Ring Ripper, wiping Valkyrie up on the floor. Champion delivered a tombstone apology, now known as Wednesday Night Fever, for the successful title defense. Real to Eddie Kingston promo by Diaz and calls out Kazuchika Okada. Prior to the final break of the night, Excalibur promised Eddie Kingston revealed the fifth member of his team as Forbidden Door, while Brian Danielson called out Kazuchika Okada. We both with Kingston revealed to Ishii as his final partner, while Danielson called for receive Okada. The later exchange was a bigger deal as the tension turned to the Rainmaker in the American Dragon confrontation. A little tease, a big Rainmaker to stun Wheel Utah in a tense stare down to the opponents, put a nice bow on the door, final build to the Forbidden Door. Both interesting all with interaction between Kingston and Moxley are friends, but find themselves opposite of one day's 5-5 battle. So here's a high drama match to still make amends or come to blows on one of the big stages AEW offer. So you drew the line, not me. My brother, you drew that line, not me. Kingston yelled at Moxley, reminding former world champ that he chose Eliza. No lead. Then we got Kingston revealed Tosha Ibushi will join him amongst the Hangman Page at Forbidden Door. Okada made a save for Shishi coming to face with Danielson ahead of Sunday's rematch. He said he tried to down the call of the show, but after a biggest star in New Japan laid out Yuta with a Rainmaker. Overall, at the Go Home show, ahead of Forbidden Door for effectiveness of the broadcast was going to be based on a sold to the pay-per-view. Honestly, so particularly spectacularly, there was a complete emphasis placed on hyping Sunday's show. Every segment dedicated to a near match by power hyping a previous showdown. So it's probably quality ring show two tag matches, better expected championship clash match between Sandler and Valkyrie, a quality show that for the colony missed. So yeah, Dynamite was mostly a will show, like mostly a show that you can hang around on. It wasn't that bad. So yeah. So yeah. That was Dynamite, Let's go to the spoilers now for Rampage. Let's do this. I read, because I told you last week on a podcast, episode of the podcast, that was my last Rampage review, so now we're going to do spoilers for Rampage. Alright, so apparently, let's go to there was advertised match. Okay, so Swerve Strickland, Empire beat Yoho Chaos in an 8-man tag match. So OSPREAY beat Yoho after hitting with a hidden blade. Then we got some NJPW Adam Cole promo segment where it will announce now that Cole will face Tom Lawler from the door. Lawler Royce Isaac attacking Cole from behind. NJ pretended he was going to make a save for Cole, but did not. So we got Daddy Ass and Clay squash of jobbers and ready for his trios match. Then after that, QTV's Cameron afterwards sang to heavy boos. There was also some back and forth on the mic between Cameron, Daddy Ass, and the Bowens. They apparently had a hard time getting through the segment with cars of editing for TV, and the crowd booed for 10 straight minutes. The segment ended with John Hennigan returning to AEW attacking Daddy Ass. So this was a John Hennigan return. So formerly John Morrison. So yeah, Johnny Nitro. Yeah, everyone knows. We got Sky Blue advancing to Owen Hartford, went over Anna Jay. We got Jungle Boy defeated Doku. The light crowd was behind Doku, booing Boy. Senna came out afterwards for a stare down with Boy. So, that was Rampage spoilers. So, we're going to ROH. Alright, let's review ROH. Let me get to ROH. Alright, see, basically, ROH this week. So, the rest of our RTV episode will always have 99% predictability. Chosen winners week, like Sanity ROH TV revival during the show. So, but this week's ROH was no bigger than Infantry defeating the Kingdom. Our former champion and former Impact Tag Champ, John Dean and Charlie Bravo, has barely made a blip on the radar surrounding AEW ROH careers. But this was about to change in a big way. The match was set up when Kingdom tried to butter ROH members. So halfway into a tag title shot, they didn't never see a rematch for when they lost the belts. Wasted just to pass and the Kingdom to earn their way into presence. The conversation turned to Infantry. The Kingdom claimed that Dean and Brett were talking trash on the talking tape for halfway five. Then Sue set well with Big Stoke. Later, the Infantry approached halfway their version with the Kingdom taking the best on it to be halfway featured. The Infantry reminiscence on hanging with Big Stoke, aka Glacier / Shock, and their Shake Club. They offer to take care of business with the kingdom. Some stuff. There was a craziness where so halfway something. So the big question is how the infantry will handle American Ellis. Expected, Maria interfered during the contest. Both Dee and Bennett were down on the mat to double clothesline. Maria distracted the referee, so Taven could slide in the chair. Bennett ran down an object into the midset. Keenan set up for the proton pack finisher was stiffened with a front of entry, even the odds. Trisha Dora ran down to pull Maria off the apron. She shared a military bomb with Dean and Bravo that distracted and brought time. Allowed Bravo to shove Taven off turnbuckles. Dean capitalized with a roll-up and Bennett to win. Backstage, Kingdom were furious. They were claiming no honor in that win by infantry. They applauded displayed ROH member Jalen's side with a hope to receive a tag shot. Maria had a warning for Andorra. Maria was the one who gave Andorra first shot in ROH. Now she's the one to end Andorra's time in ROH. So, yeah, Adora also scored an upset win her own right early on in the evening. Adora triumphed over Allison Kay. Kay is a former world champ in Impact NWA. Kay is aimed to close with an AK-47. A score escaped on the lip and exploded for the Larry Tubman for the win. Another match on the upset list was Gringo Loco prevailing over Willie Mack. Gringo has been making the waves lately on this NBC scene. But Mack is probably not the biggest star when Mack climbed the corner for a Brock Splash. Gringo sprung up to surprise Mack for a smash spot. That aerial attack was the winner for Gringo Loco. This was a big win for Gringo Loco in the United Center. Good for Gringo. Yeah, it's pretty much true. And kind of break. Tony Khan presented a new ROH World Television Champion belt to Samoa Joe to celebrate the dominance. So this signs that Samoa Joe will have a long reign as ROH TV title will continue. World TV title will continue. Mark Briscoe's the one who's going to take the belt off of him. I see that happening. We have Phoenix, Penta Jr., Hideo Vandino, and Commander defeating Spectacle, Kip Sabian, Butcher and Blade. This was a 8-man tag. The masked man used Lucha Yoga to trap Sabian, Butcher and Blade into a circle hamstring stretch. Pentagon hit a Mexican stretcher, destroyer, up the cone, middle of the circle, a package power drive from Penta to the deal. Then Earl Moron. Kyle Fletcher defeated Silas Young, the Ras Real Man with the Mr. PWG Raja plunge. Fletcher took advantage for Superkick and Hammerlock reverse ETG for the win. The Embassy defeated Treadstar, AJZ, and Luke Curtis. Destruction. Embassy crushed a triple slam for emphasis at Tony Lowen, picked up the pin. Dallas Council defeated Josh Woods. Castle used the boys to snuff out interference from Bark Stern and Tony Nese. Woods leapfrog. Castle caught him for a spin. Bangle rang for the win. So yeah. Lee Murray and Big Bill defeated Matt Dydell and Blake Christian. The set footers. The difference in the main end. Bill chokeslammed Christian on the apron. Then finished with a suplex side for the victory. This was a big moment for Tiger Style and Big Mercy. So yeah. Alright. We got Alex Reynolds, Silver defeating Davey Bang, and Oscar Matthews. It wasn't a house. Dark Horse was aggressive to squash their opponents. They finished with a stunner German suplex, jackknife combo pin for Reynolds to take the win. The Righteous Stu Grayson pop up the screen upon Dark Horse's attitude, but doubt it was a permanent change. Mr. respect the effort. They wonder if he's the same next week. It sounded like something honest in the works. Perhaps some match against Stu Grayson. Reynolds and Silver responded by doing out more pain to Bang and Matthews after the match. So yeah. So Leah Gray defeated Diamette. Mark Sterling approached Diamette and offered to take the loss with the winner's purse at 149. Favor Gray. Diamette take the bite. She doesn't trust Sterling on his end. Instead, Diamette planned to win and take the purse for himself. Diamette was controlling the contest, but Sterling caused distraction. Gray swelled the roll up on the field on the rules to win there backstage. Diamette demanded a rematch after interference caused by Mark Sterling, so most likely that's next week. We got AR Fox, Darby Martin, and Andre Andrade defeating Shane Taylor and Workhorsemen. Martin and Andrade took the flight to Whitehall Taylor and Eddie Drake on the outside. Anthony Henry missed a high-risk leave, so the Fox secured a win. So yeah. Then we got Danny Garcia defeating Rocky Morel. Pure rules in effect. Stokie halfway. Jerry Lynn popped back with judges chasing the draw. Garcia clinched Romeo and placed his leg on the ropes. The sucker referee called for Romeo's first break. Romeo came back for an armbar break, forcing Garcia to his first rope break. Garcia's second rope break was escape out to submission. Rocky's second rope break came from a FTF. Romero landed at flying double stomp. Garcia dropped the ropes, pinned for his third final rope break. Was able to trap Romeo's sharpshooter for Kira Zero's final rope break in the closing sequence. Romero locked in the bar. Garcia reached the ropes with his feet, winding breaks at his expense. Garcia uses the ropes to step up, roll over the top position for a narrow escape. Garcia grabs sharpshooter, Romero into the ropes for his escape. Garcia cranked back and forced the tap out. So yeah, Garcia won. After the match, Garcia suckered Romeo into a Cole of Honor handshake to attack. Orange Cassidy made the save. Garcia backed down. OC and Rocky shared a high jumping high five as friends. Orange Punky Vice. It was an Orange Punky Vice moment. Now we got the ROH Women's Champion Athena retaining against Kira Hogan in the Chicago Street Fight. The action was physical with tables, ladders, chairs, tacks, and more. Big spot came with Athena executing a superplex to the outside, crashing on a stack of open chairs. Athena rolled Hogan into the ring for the pin. So it was a big matchup. Then after that, there was backstage. Athena was not happy about Laxeration. Time for her being recognized for women domination. So yeah, basically. So here's what I think. The creative cop watches this week's episode includes Garcia versus Romero, Kina versus Hogan, Costa versus Woods. Garcia and Romero put on a dual strategy in a pure match. In my opinion, the finish was extra to work around both men with no rope breaks. The Chicago Street Fight was hardcore fun. Tina and Hogan took their lumps. Castle stretched stuff in the ring to remind the world why he's the ROH former champion. It's easy mesmerized by Castle's peacock. He has legit amateur wrestling skills. The episode also featured some little moments to make notice, like the B-Cast was given promo time to develop personalities. You know which catch fire in his eyes, like scissoring phenomenon. Yeah. The underdog wins with surprise for that reason. John Dean, Carly Brown, Treshadora are standouts. They fit together as a crew in their military backgrounds. I hope ROH can find a way to push them as little as a unit. Dean and Bravo showing charisma and gas session with Doug halfway. Thor could bring in the ring. Shout out to Kingdom putting over infantry. Matt Tate and Matt Bennett didn't have much to gain by doing so. Should have shown they are true professionals. And that was, yeah. So basically, that was ROH review. That was my ROH review. I'm going to review Collision. Stay tuned. Alright, now let's review Collision and then the wrestling news for last. So let's start off with Collision. Okay, Collision. Let's start the show. Collision. Well, let's see. Well, Collision. Yeah, I watched it. This was on a Sunday. It was a great Collision show. So let's talk about it. This was the final show before Sunday's Forbidden Door. Yeah, the Forbidden Door is today, people. So I'm just telling you this. When I do a Forbidden Door review, I'll post it on Tuesday, and I will post a Forbidden Door review on Tuesday, as most likely will happen. So yeah, you'll get the recap on Tuesday. It's easier for me. Alright, let's talk about Collision this week's second episode of Collision. We have the Owen Hart Cup tournament continuing on Saturday with NJPW Strong Women's Champion Nightingale battling Nyla Rose. We had a main event with CM Punk, FTR Starks taking on Jay White, Juice Robinson, The Guns, plus much more. So let's go take a look what happened in the go home episode of Collision before Forbidden Door. We have the mystery part review. The show opened with a pair of promos from Team CMT, Ricky and Bullet Club Gold to hype the match for the night. It had an old school feel to it. Tony Schiavone was in the ring, welcomed Sting and Darby Allin so they could reveal their mystery partner for Forbidden Door, but he was interrupted by Jericho and Minoru Suzuki. The Demogod ranted about Sting, making him wait to find out he'll be facing. Whoever we probably wasn't tough Suzuki. He begins with Shivani, which brought out Sting and Allen. Allen said Jericho has some history with mystery partner. He started freaking out. Just hearing Naito's music hit, he appeared on stage dressed all white. He walked up to Jericho, smiled in his face. The Demogod Suzuki left the ring without anyone throwing a punch. This is a pick that a lot of people predicted on social media, but that is bad. Naito's big choice, especially due to history of Jericho. The segment wasn't particularly memorable, but it worked to build tension between two teams. There might be some fans who don't know who Naito is, but a quick YouTube search will tell you everything you need to know. So yeah. The combination of Jericho and Suzuki is so weird that you don't feel like characters will be friends. The crowd wanted to cheer for Suzuki, and AEW always allowed him to work solo, so the crowd came behind him. Suzuki smiled on the announcement on Naito with a nice touch. We go to Swerve Strickland versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. The prisoner accompanied Strickland to the ring for the first match of the night against Tanahashi. Tana got a great reaction from the Toronto crowd, poised in the corner. The fan chanted his name, and he Swerve circled around for getting up. They mocked each other with a little air to car for Tanahashi had a low drop kick. The leader of Mogul Embassy quickly regained control, trapped him in. Prince William kicked in the face as we went to break. This was a solid back and forth counter between two guys who have similar skills. You could tell both men were holding back to keep Tanahashi healthy for his big match on Sunday, but still managed to make this competitive. It was quite a bit of showboating, which his crowd seemed to enjoy, which is an instant classic. It was easily enough to give influency against the idea who Tanahashi is for you. This is NGF. Tanahashi slipped on Tom Burbuckle when he signed up for his finisher, but Swerve was starting out to help him cover for the misstep. Tanahashi scored a pin, celebrated for a moment before NJPW music hits. The AEW champion appeared on the Tron and promised to embarrass him at Forbidden Door. He said Tony Khan agreed to put their match on first so he get the Toronto as fast as he could. Winner Hiroshi Tanahashi. It's a little surprised AEW was paired Tanahashi someone major refused so that someone could easily take the loss without suffering. Tanahashi seemed to be moving a little slow when the match got going, but he picked up pace as time went on. He's 46 years old. Back to move like he did 10-15 years ago. Swerve's kick always looked like they've been more impact than most. The one hit trapped in an apron looked great. Tanahashi needed to put a little more F-pack on his body slam. The one hit in the corner looked like he genuinely swerved down and trying to hurt him. So yeah, this was Swerve versus Tanahashi. It made Swerve look good. Tanahashi got over. So yeah. Now we got Brody King versus Andrade El Idolo. After beating Bobby Matthews' return match last week, Andrade El Idolo found himself facing another member of the House of Black on Saturday when he battled Brody King. Andrade had shoulder taped up now to make sure to talk about being a weakness for him as the match began. King used his size to push El Idolo around a bit, but former NXT champion combined the size advantage with speed and agility. Hit a massive missile from the top rope to the floor and a whole shit chant from the crowd. The strikes were even stiff from King throughout the match. Even when the crowd was cheering, you could hear a pack of each chop flip perfectly. This bout was very physical, allowed both men to shine different ways. They made sure the crowd got his money's worth for the show. Hart distracted Andrade by picking up his mask, but it only stopped him from putting on the figure eight momentarily. Once they got locked in, Matthews slid in the ring and tapped him out of nowhere to cause a disqualification. Malachi Black appeared on the Tron while the rest of the House of Black posed in the ring. Come might not allow I feel happy, but everything else contest ruled. Idolo won by DQ. So here's the thing. King's probably one of the legitimate independent pro wrestlers in the world. Everything about saying don't screw with me. Andrade don't need to know, so if he started his own, should remain a solo act. The zipper on Andrade's jacket was comically large. Julia Hart saw the race settled presence on the ringside. You never know if she was going to do anything to make her that much fun to watch these paces around the ring. They were swinging for the fence on these chops. The one King used to Andrade out the ring was nasty. King grabbed Andrade patron muscle squeezed it as hard as could be painful. One of the things that only works with somebody with huge hands like King. So yeah, that was that match. What it is. So yeah, so it is what it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we got Will Nightingale versus Nyla Rose. Okay. First, Christian Cage, the new TNT champion, Luchasaurus, came out after the break for an interview. It was Cage who carried the belt with him into the ring. He got a great heel promo set up. It should be a fun run for Luchasaurus as champion. The next match was a quarterfinal bout in the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament between Will Nightingale and Nia Rose. The native beast had Mary Sheffer by her side, took a long look at Owen Cup on a ring. The two of the most powerful women in AEW tried to test each other's strength early on. The Rose was the one to take the control, but the New Japan Women's Strong Champion was on the fight. They battled to control break while Rose in control. Will began to fight back. Pace with his solar places should have been over around this counterbeat. Petters is smaller challenge. Finish out Rose the bomb for the pin and the win. Outcast showed us around the ring, but ring single. Even now, it's the Outcast packing the fight, but set up future encounter between Tony Storm and Willow. Alright. Break. Okay. Yeah, so Winona Gale's victory. Christian saying he left the show in a bad mood last week was hilarious. You know. AEW should bring Henry Coleman just to wrap through Willow's entrance. It almost feels incomplete without it. And then there was a test of straight with a fun spot, especially with Willow countering out of it. So it was good. Okay, we got Balance Hobbs versus Jerry Prophet. So Hobbs is actually against the local title on my name of Jerry Prophet. Yes, the match for that last one. This was a pure squash. I get Hobbs to easily win. The Spine Buster Hobbs used to look great. So here's my opinion. Hobbs used the song Who We Are album for his entrance. His human music's fine, but not very distinct. Then we go to the main event. CMT Ricky versus the Guns and Bullet Club Gold. So, the main event of the night was a huge 8-man tag team with CM Punk, Hardwood, Wheeler, Stark taking on Juice Robinson, Jay White, Austin, and Colton Gunn. So, Punk and White started for their team, Switchblade trying to taunt him, but Punk trying to show him that he wasn't intimidated, while White ended up tagging out the Juice. We got a great reaction to the crowd. The crowd was incredibly vocal throughout the match, but both teams were being booed, cheered, depending on who was in the ring at any time. Hard to tell either side was more supporting the other. This was the final match for the crowd. Short matches, Punk were restrictive times. Did a good job playing that part, so the majority of what we saw was solid. Punk was definitely breaking some of the boos he was getting, but his team was clearly still working on the babyface side. The crowd made an effort to only boo Punk when he's a legit mega man, so the rest of the team got positive reactions. Juice teased pinned Punk with his own finisher, but Legacy Savior counter it, kicked up a lot of sequence, everyone but both getting sides involved. The match ended with White hitting Starks with a finisher, somewhat a surprising victory. So the Guns and the Bullet Club Gold win. So here's the thing, the Guns entrance is the best part of the presentation. That's one. The way Robinson and White were stretching before the match kind of fun for some reason. When Punk made his entrance, there was some more people booing than cheering. He's clearly loving every second of it. Punk would do some push-ups at ringside after tagging out to Hardwood. It's funny. Austin was favoring his arm. One point he tagged out, and then he let the ring to get checked down. The high knee Punk hit on White in the corner of Gray, so the camera wasn't a perfect spot. Well, there's also the fuck with the dark part with NJF, Tanahashi stuff. Like with NJF, like they basically telling him that this Sunday's Spin Doors will be the first match, so he'll probably want to leave, but he will make his debut on Thursday on the next Collision, which is going to be taped on Thursday, the June 29th. So look out for it. Avoid the spoilers, alright? Make sure to avoid the spoilers. So, okay. Let's talk about the final word. The second episode of Collision was actually good. The first in terms of action. It serves as a good go-ho show heading to Forbidden Door. Other than a quick squash match, every bout was enjoyable at some level. Willow Rose had an entertaining clash, but the match tonight was easily King versus Ito. Neither is booked for a Forbidden Door, so they didn't have to worry about staying fresh for tomorrow night. A way handful of other people on the show did. It did allow them to go hard they want, with the end of huge red marks on Ito's chest when it's over. So AEW did a good job mixing with the non-wrestling segments. The show was placed very well. It's there was some hard-hitting action. You can't get asked much more. So yeah, that was pretty much Collision. So yeah, that was Collision. That was Collision recap. Let's go straight to the wrestling news. Hey, let's get to the wrestling news. Starting with Anna Huber, now working for production for AEW. So basically, she's going to be working for All Elite Wrestling in a production capacity. So as we know about the passing of John Huber, Brody Lee, Amanda has been embraced by the wrestling industry. All Elite Wrestling welcome a member of its community reach team in October 2021. So we got some info for PW Insider. They're reporting Huber's now had a new role with the company. It's believed Michael Manson, a recruiter, to join the company production team. And Huber is now working on the production end of AEW. Has been working on community outreach. Company we are told was recruited by Mansour over to production. So here we Insider. And Huber is definitely a favorite within AEW. Plus, see both her and his son Brody Jr. orders number 1. Continue to keep the forward NJPW live company. As only will aim to provide any further updates on Amanda Huber's new role in AEW. Soon we hear more. So yeah, this is Amanda Huber's new role within AEW, so it's good for her. It'll keep the legacy of Brody Lee alive. So yeah. So Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay reportedly is going to be expected to main event AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. So according to the new report, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay is expected to main event this Sunday's Forbidden Door. Per report from PW Insider, it said it will be IWGP US title match between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, which will close for a North Spectacle. This belief over the weekend in Chicago was that Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay will be closing the Forbidden Door pay-per-view Toronto Sunday. Elsewhere on the card, we got Jack Perry challenging Sonata for a IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, with the show just less than a week away. More matches are expected to be announced in coming days. So yeah, So Ospreay and Omega is main eventing Forbidden Door. So that's my take on this. So yeah. Alright, so Rhea's reported expected to return to AEW TV imminently. Okay. So Rhea is said to be returning to the AEW program very soon. So Rhea is said to return very soon, making her unexpected debut in the company last September. So Rhea's time AEW has been a mixed bag. While it's clear when she was not receiving babyface reactions, she quickly turned heel and lined herself with Toy Storm, becoming known as the Outcast, adding Ruby Soho to the lineup. For the most part, this has been a successful Australian, finding herself as current AEW Women's World Champion. Though in recent weeks, fans may have noticed Storm Soho go about their business without Saraya. To provide an update on this, Fight Select has suggested that Saraya is returning to AEW TV in amendment. Saraya is expected to be back on AEW TV immediately. She hadn't received since at least in late television tapings. So yeah, Fight Select. So Storm Soho recently been in battle and a losing effort at Will Nightingale and Chicago born Sky Blue. Debut episode AEW Collision on Unit Center. So yeah. And yeah, so basically Saraya will make a return soon, so I don't know what's gonna happen. It's what it is. It's how it is. Kenny Omega reportedly set to appear on this week's Dynamite or Collision this week. I had one of the bigger shows of the year. One of the top stars appeared this week's episode of Dynamite. This Sunday at the Scotty Bang Arena in Toronto, Canada. AEW and Japan will come together once to present that Forbidden Door review. The show will see Kenny Omega put his GP US Heavyweight Champion line as well as for a rematch of the Wrestle Kingdom 17 Classic. Now it appears unlikely Omega will be presented for this week's video tapings of pay-per-view. So Dave Meltzer, Pro Wrestling Observer Newsletter, Omega is a set feature Collision and Dynamite this week despite his major involvement. Sunday's crossover pay-per-view. Kenny Omega now appear on this week's Wednesday Dynamite and Sunday's Collision. This is from Meltzer. Tomorrow's episode of Dynamite is set to This week's Dynamite episode animated for Wintrust Chicago, which is this week. Forbidden Door take place in Toronto, Canada. Fightful Select report that claimed that former world champion for tomorrow's show had a company has been his case in a clear where Mega's Dynamite collision this week pre-tape. OSPREAY headline this weekend show. Shin residents show TV shows or whatever. So obviously, Mega stablemate, Elite stablemate, Hangman Page, and Young Bucks are yet to be announced for your TV taping. So is that the correct plans for Forbidden Door? So yeah, it's a little weird, but it's what it is. It's the situation how it would be. But you know, the Elite and the Bucks, like Omega, the Bucks, and Hangman, the Elite, they'll be there for Forbidden Door. So it's what it is. So yeah, like how would you say it's been diagnosed with cancer? So speaking of House of Hardcore broadcast Dreamer, say that he's been diagnosed third time went this guy had surgery to get it removed. Look at head saying, what the hell is this on your head? Are you going to tell you barbed wire? Guess what? I had skin cancer. Right? Me and Guido, he's here called out to me. This is the third time skin cancer. Head by the pretty boy in hardcore skin range cancer. This form of cancer is removed. Able to cut it out. It is a surgery. I had it before. I had it here on the chest. And the head. Now I have a big one on the head. So what you're looking at is gross as 42 stitches. I had 23 outside. 19 inside. You don't feel reclaims in the awareness of it there. Cows are your size. Burn. So the part I do like hear a scalpel cutting your help your head. The worst part you hear them putting the stitches. Task that many stitches in your head. They numb you. They can numb it. You're not feeling it, but you can hear it. You can hear skin tightening and the thread is gross. Yeah. So Bremer has been asked for the Impact Wrestling in recent months. Took some time away from mother passing. So as on behalf of AgostoAllElite Podcast, we wish Dreamer the best in his recovery. Hope you get better, Jumping Dreamer. CM Punk cancer report not set for a match this week. Forbidden Door weekend. Report indicated that CM Punk will not be wrestled Kenta at Forbidden Door. This Sunday we'll see AEW Japan's team up to put on its second annual Forbidden Door. So 3 matches such as Okada versus Jason, Mega's defense of AWGP US champ against Will Ospreay. There are currently 4 matches that have been confirmed for also for sure. Many wonder where plans for CM Punk is Trump is to turn to AEW following this collision this week. What a rumor possibility for the college boards during coming this day was a magic headset. The Southern May fans and played fantasy book for years, and this champions are even rumors on Twitter. However, first like now potential any match through is off and no longer possibly Forbidden Door. So as for Flash Select, it's talked about that Kenta Express in Japan, AEW is not easy to face the CM Punk Forbidden Door show. We're going to make way a collision this past week. The reports notice that CM Punk Clash of Kenta has been penciled up this weekend with no reason given why it's been pulled. Should the Japanese star have been no ready to discuss matches on Twitter though. Recent Kenta vs Punk happens in direct response to the match being axed. As of now, AEW being considered alternate options for CM Punk in Sunday's event, though it's unclear where the 44 will fit Forbidden Door out. With Fightful Select, sources indicating the other top New Japan star has been booked for separate top matches and announcement. As always, willing to provide any updates on plans for Forbidden Door, the Megan, CM Punk, and Kenta should hear more. So yeah, So this is another news. Okay, WWE reported believe McIntyre will be in mix by Monday by Bank and the UK tour. So a report coming out indicated WWE believe McIntyre will be in the mix coming weeks. Drew McIntyre contract entered his final year when suicides are enclosed. The agreeing new terms said that creative discussions are huge factor in Scott's new deal, and a result former WWE champion has seen on TV since lost that. To prove an update on the situation, PWS reported this report stating May and WWE are participating. McIntyre return to the company soon, with a potential reemergence linked to Money in the Bank at O2 Arena, London, coming 2K tour. So WWE sources indicating that there are many that come believe McIntyre will be back in mix at UK tour and Money in the Bank. So yeah, whether the 30-year-old returns to WWE soon remains to be seen. When unclear what sides agreeing not to renewal, though given that the company has been in existence less than a week, it's unsurprising that WWE attempted to share one of the biggest European stars involved. So we got Carlito reportedly being targeted for WWE return at Madison Square Garden. We have a spoiler on where Carlito is set to make his WWE return this month. Talks emerged claiming that Carlito signed with WWE. Further speculating emerging upon the Puerto Rican canceling indie booking. It now appears that his return to WWE may be unlocked. So the new report for EW Side Elite revealed that Carlito WWE returns be a target for June 7th edition of Monday Night Friday Night SmackDown Madison Square Garden, pointing to him joining the Blue brand. He has heard from multiple WWE sources that it's required targeting for Carlito's return to the company, so head for the Blue brand. So last time, Carlito made an appearance at last month's Backlash Premier Live event, Home Nation in Puerto Rico, along with the Latino World Order during Bad Bunny's match with Judgment Day and Damian Priest. The LOW being drafted to SmackDown as possible, Carlito is once again set to link up the stable. A specific regarding the return yet to be revealed. So yeah, it's pretty much Carlito's coming back to WWE, and it's what it is. I don't care. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of something. Alright. Danielson reportedly banged out spot limited at AEW Double Nothing as a result. So a report came out detailing why Bryan Danielson has been active in ring at recent times. The BCC member Bryan Danielson has been locked in a faction war in the Elite for the last few months, and his signs have been in many clashes involving members of each of the group, including the iteration of Moxley, Yuta, Castagnoli, during Battle of Omega, the Bucks, Page, Spy from Anarchy Arena, Ethical, which closed Double or Nothing. Fans may have noticed that Danielson's ring time has been equal to one of the stamemates, with the star being doing content during matches while BCC are competing. To expand this, a report from Hard Select revealed Danielson is currently banged up managing his in-ring time as a result. So yeah, as Fightful said, Danielson has been banged up as of late. There was some spots eliminating a Double Not Anarchy and Arena match as well. So yeah. For Fightful Select, Danielson's last match prior to Double Nut came May 28. On May 28, March, we wrestled NJPW in the 60-minute Iron Man over the championship. Court Bryant's in-ring outing is a dream match for ages, set to compete against Kazuchika Okada this Sunday's Forbidden Door. So yeah, Bryan Danielson's been injured for a while. So yeah, apparently there's a new update. Last news: a top name reported of Dynamite in a bad mood. The CM Punk situation is described as a time-ticking bomb. And this is from Meltzer. I don't trust Meltzer. This is whatever. So yeah, unknown top AEW star reported left this week's Dynamite bad mood. CM Punk made his AEW return last Saturday with a debut with an additional collision. 4-year-old star picked up to win the main event. He also on Dynamite Chicago this week, we didn't feature any person accounts from the Elite, with Brute showing backstage pre-tape promo instead. The official brand split to Wednesday's show. Assault Wrestler roster split said to be effect, would reflected Elite not appearing this week. Dynamite expanded on this. Meltzer written at Wrestling Observer newsletter has been seeing success in terms of ratings and fan attendance's return to CM Punk. Some members of the roster said to be concerned on one member leaving this week's Dynamite in a bad mood. So from a hand standpoint, things look good. Short-term business has a very strong point. Ratings were good. Attendance were a good sweep. On top names was for home under show wins in a bad mood, even when the key people apart and on the same show. Despite the fear of being a ticking time bomb, will not have a happy ending. So yeah. Collision's first episode of Joe will see CM Punk next match coming on this Saturday. So the Star also do battle with Satoshi Kojima this Sunday in the AEW Forbidden Door. The Forbidden Door. So yeah. False on this is Meltzer news. It's most likely false. I don't know why Meltzer puts this shit out of the air, but that shit needs to stop. And this was the wrestling news. This was the AgostoAllElite Podcast on this big Sunday. I'll see you next Sunday. So, see you later.